You will be listening to Ila, written by Sarang Bhakre, narrated by Benaifer J. Mirza. Episode 1.
My father is Manu, the one who saved the world. I'm his eldest son, a part of his ideal society. If I don't survive, what will happen to those ideals? Sudyuman's voice was beginning to crack. It sounded more feminine. He continued, What will happen to the society that rests its hopes on me? Take back your curse, mother.
Sudyumna was sobbing uncontrollably. He was still weeping when he looked at his bosom. All of a sudden, his breasts had started to grow. His limbs were shrinking. His skin was feeling softer and suppler. It was as if every part of his body, every drop of his blood, was stirring. Sudyumna gawked at his bodily transformations without blinking. There was fear and wonder in his eyes, but his mind was going blank. At this point, a wave of darkness arose from all directions. It seemed to be moving forward speedily to engulf him. What was happening to him? A short while ago, when he had entered the forest with Madhav in the morning, he had no idea that his life was going to change forever. Madhav whispered in a shrill voice, What sort of place is this, Sudyumna? Maybe we shouldn't go on. Don't be scared, Madhav. I'm with you, am I not? Situated atop the mountains, shrouded in foggy clouds, they were in a dense forest covered in mist and smoke. A jungle where nobody dared to go even during the day. It was said that Yaksh lived in that forest and humans were forbidden there. But today, 2 humans had entered the woodland. The king of Manali's 25-year-old elder son, Sudyumna, was one of them. He was 6 feet tall with sparkling eyes. His strong arms were taut, and his hands had a strong grip, like a crocodile's. The ring he wore was the mark of his royalty. The royal seal of Manali was engraved on it. The second man was Madhav, Sudyumna's companion. Short, bald, hunchbacked and back-toothed. Madhav was the same age as Sudyumna. He wore a white loincloth and carried a wooden club in his hand. Fearfully, Madhav said,
Oh God, when our chariot broke down, why did I suggest the shorter route through the forest? Please forgive me, Prince. How will I face the king when I get back to Manali?
Just then, they heard a rustling noise. Shocked, Sudyumna and Madhav looked up. A giant blooming flower was rapidly descending from the tree. It had red petals, sharp teeth, and a glue-like liquid dripped from them. The sticky liquid had an inebriating scent. It affected both Sudyumna and Madhav. They felt as if the earth was swaying. They were being lulled into a strange stupor, and their eyelids were growing heavy. The flower bloomed completely and swallowed Sudyumna. Madhav could not understand what was happening, but his intoxication wore off the moment the flower closed up. He was all alone in the desolate, unfamiliar forest and scared stiff. Then suddenly he heard a sound, and before Madhav knew it, he was drenched in the glue-like liquid. He wiped it off his eyes. His face now showed signs of surprise, and a smile played on his lips. Sudyumna was standing in front of him. Sudyumna's muscles were still tense, and his forehead was glistening with beads of sweat. His shoulder-length hair was plastered to his neck, and he was breathing heavily. His eyes were bloodshot, and he stood tight-lipped. His strong shoulders were raised and rigid. The swollen muscles had made his arms so taut that his pearl armlet broke and fell apart. His gut was sucked in due to rapid breathing, and his abdominal muscles showed prominently. His feet were firmly set on the ground, like a big tree sprouting out of the earth. His silken yellow waistcloth was clinging to his feet. The Himalayan sheepwool shawl he had been wearing was hanging off of his right shoulder, and his left shoulder was smeared with blood. His fair complexion looked even more striking than usual. The carnivorous tree was collapsing slowly behind him. Madhav said,
God's grace is upon.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?